So really the key here today is I want to ignite your passion. Part of my brand is passion. I live with passion. I love what I do. And it's not an act of performance. This is why I'm here. And the journey to discover why I was here came through pain, came through some disappointment, came through some unexpected delays, came through denial. But guess what? If you fight and push through, then you're able to break through into really your life story. What is the one thing, thought, or phrase that comes to mind when someone says your name? That is the power of your brand. It is the representation of your authentic value. And everything you touch, you are leaving a mark. When you came in the room, you left a mark. When you engage with the customer or the ballet, or even as you're up here speaking as a speaker, we're making a mark. And so it's always, always, always in someone else's head. That's a scary thought. You don't know me. But guess what? You have a perception of my value. Is it true? Is it false? You don't know. But guess what? Statistics say in the first 3 seconds of an encounter, someone already made up their mind about you. Then the first 7, they changed their mind about 8 times. So, is your impression positive or negative? And in the book I talk about neutral, but guess what? Neutral doesn't matter. Because that means, who is that? I don't really remember. We don't want that. So what is personal branding? It is a strategic and systemic formula that creates lifetime value for you. And that's why I encourage you to think about your brand from the beginning to the end. I encourage you to think about what you played with and what you talked about when you were a little girl or a little boy to what you're doing now. Because that is the lifetime value. And no matter what you were doing, if you were trying to make the football team, if you were trying to get an A in the class, if you were trying to get accepted to the college, if you were trying to get that first job, you were always doing what? Selling and branding. You just didn't know it. So this, my friends, is what we're trying to discover. Your distinct value and how that can be meaningful. So having an opportunity to create your story, create a platform to tell your story, gives you the benefit of owning your message. And ultimately, that's what we all want to do. I want to be in control of who you perceive I am and what my value is. So writing a book is a way to open up your value and tell a story. But there's many ways to tell your story. Through blogging, through speaking, through books. But ultimately, you've got to create a legendary story. That means you've got to go through the good times and the bad times and be open to be vulnerable. It's a scary place, but when you're vulnerable, what happens? Connection. You're real. You know? Yeah, you've accomplished great things, but you're just like me. And that's ultimately what I believe is selling now. It's not this fake package stuff. It's tangible. I want to touch you. I want to help you connect. I really want to be engaged in this challenge and the struggle with you, but we'll get through it together. Points of difference. Really begin to outline what are my core strengths. Okay? From a message standpoint. Your experience. Your journey. Your gifts. All of these are your competitive points of difference. In the book I call your DNA. All of us know DNA is critical to the foundation of life, right? But your DNA is your distinct and notable attributes. That is really your secret weapon. That becomes a strategy that helps you create preference. And that's what brings about. I always have a right to choose, right? But I choose this over that. I want to create preference.